You probably have a bottle of apple cider vinegar sitting in your kitchen right now. It is likely tucked away in the back of the pantry, gathering dust behind the spices and the old baking soda. Maybe you bought it months ago because you saw a headline or a friend mentioned it. You might have even tried a single spoonful, made a face at that terrible, sharp, sour taste, and never touched it again. Or maybe you are one of the brave ones. You drink it every single morning, choking it down, gritting your teeth because you heard it was good for you and you were desperate for relief. But here is the hard truth that nobody tells you. And this is going to sound harsh, but I need you to hear it. 90% of seniors are using that bottle in a way that does absolutely zero for their nerve pain. Actually, the way most people use it, the common health hack way, might actually be making your situation worse. You are putting yourself through that terrible taste for no reward. You are just punishing your taste buds while your nerves continue to scream. You know that sensation I am talking about, that burning fire, the pins and needles that wake you up at 2 in the morning and refuse to let you go back to sleep? The feeling that your bed sheets are made of razor blades or sandpaper? That is not just aging, that is your body screaming for help. It is a distress signal coming from the deepest wiring of your legs and feet. Apple cider vinegar is powerful. It is genuinely one of the most potent biological tools in nature, but your stomach has a specific biological lock. It's like a safe. If you don't turn the key the right way, if you don't get the combination exactly right, the relief never reaches your nerves. It just passes right through you. It becomes nothing more than expensive urine. By the end of this video, you are going to know the golden ratio to unlock that safe. It's a simple formula, but it changes everything. It turns that sour liquid from a kitchen condiment into a healing fuel that can actually reach the damaged tissues in your feet. But listen closely, because we have to start with a warning. There is one specific morning habit you must never, ever mix with apple cider vinegar if you have neuropathy. Most people do it every single day. They think they're being healthy. They think they're being responsible adults. But it actually blocks the healing process before it even starts. I will tell you exactly what that dangerous mix is in just a moment, and I would bet good money you did it this morning without even realizing the damage. First, though, we need to look at why your feet feel like they are on fire. We need to visualize what is happening inside your legs so you can understand why we need the vinegar in the first place. If you don't understand the enemy, you can't fight the war. I want you to picture the nerves in your legs and feet like the electrical wiring in your house. Think of a brand new, high-quality copper wire. It has that thick, rubbery plastic coating to keep it safe, right? That coating stops the wire from sparking, it protects the copper from moisture, and it ensures the electrical signal gets from the light switch to the light bulb instantly. Your nerves are exactly the same. They have a protective coating called myelin. When that coating is thick and healthy, you don't feel pain. You feel the ground when you walk, you feel the warmth of a bath, you feel the cool sheets, but you don't feel burning. You don't feel static. But here is what happens in the bodies of so many people over 55. When your blood sugar stays high, even just a little bit above normal, what doctors call pre-diabetic or insulin resistant, that sugar changes. It stops being fuel and starts becoming a weapon. Imagine taking a handful of white sugar and throwing it into your car's gas tank. What happens? It doesn't dissolve nicely. It crystallizes. It gets gritty. It turns into sludge. In your blood, that excess sugar acts like microscopic sandpaper. Every time your heart beats, it pushes that sandpaper blood against your delicate nerves. Pulse after pulse, hour after hour, day after day. It is a slow, grinding process. You don't feel it happening at first, but over time, weeks and months, that sugar sandpaper sands the protective coating right off your wires. It strips away the myelin. That burning you feel? That is a raw, exposed wire. It is short-circuiting against your muscle tissue. It is sparking. That is why the pain is worse at night. There are no distractions, no movement to mask it, just you and those raw, sparking wires screaming into the dark. Now, most people try to fix this with painkillers. They go to the doctor, they describe the pain, and they walk out with a prescription for gabapentin or Lyrica or some other heavy-duty drug. But think about that for a second. Truly think about the mechanic of that. Taking a painkiller for neuropathy is like putting a piece of black tape over the check engine light in your car. Does the tape make the annoying light go away? Yes. Does it fix the engine? No, it just hides the warning signal. It makes you feel better for a few hours. Maybe it lets you sleep for a bit. But under the hood, the engine is still smoking. The sandpaper is still grinding away at the wires. The damage is continuing. You just can't feel it anymore. Apple cider vinegar is different. It is not a numbing agent. It is not a piece of tape. It is an insulation repair kit. We are not trying to hide the pain. We are trying to disarm the sandpaper. We are trying to stop the sugar from destroying your nerves in the first place so the body can finally do its job and heal the damage that has been done. So, how does a sour liquid fix a sugar problem? This is where the magic happens. This is the science that most people miss. The secret weapon inside vinegar is called acetic acid. It is the stuff that makes your mouth pucker and your eyes water if you smell it too close. Think of acetic acid like a crossing guard for your bloodstream. When you eat a potato or a slice of bread or even a bowl of healthy oatmeal, your body usually rushes to turn that food into glucose, sugar, and dump it into your bloodstream. It's a flood. The gates open and the sugar rushes in. That flood causes a massive spike in blood sugar. That spike is the sandpaper. It rushes through your veins, scratching everything in its path. But when you have acetic acid in your system before you eat, the crossing guard steps into the street. It holds up the stop sign. It tells your stomach, slow down. Do not dump all that sugar at once. We're going to take this easy. It forces your digestion to release the sugar slowly, bit by bit, a trickle instead of a flood. This means the sandpaper never forms. It keeps your blood smooth. It keeps the flow gentle. It gives your body a break. Instead of fighting off a sugar spike and putting out fires, your body can focus its energy on repairing those frayed wires in your feet. In fact, research from the Journal of Diabetes Care confirms that taking vinegar before a meal can improve insulin sensitivity by up to 34%. That is a massive number. That is the difference between a damaging meal and a nourishing one. Try this mental shift. Next time you sit down for a meal with carbs, maybe Sunday dinner with the family or a sandwich at lunch, think about that crossing guard. If you don't have the vinegar, the guard is on a coffee break. He's gone. The traffic is going to crash. The sugar is going to flood. If you take the vinegar, the guard is on duty, wearing his neon vest, protecting your wires. I want to ask you a quick question while we are on the topic of specific symptoms. I want to know who is watching so I can tailor future advice. Drop a comment below. Do you feel the burning more in your big toes, or does it feel like you're walking on crumpled up socks? That sock feeling where you check your shoe because you swear something is in there but nothing is a classic sign of the sandpaper damage. Let me know in the comments. Now, this next secret contradicts everything you've been told by TV commercials for the last 40 years. They tell you acid is bad. They sell you billions of dollars of pills to stop acid. They tell you that heartburn means you have too much acid. But for your nerves, the problem is usually that you don't have enough acid. This is the stomach acid paradox. As we get older, specifically past the age of 50 or 55, our stomach acid naturally gets weak. It loses its punch. It becomes more like water and less like the industrial strength dissolver it needs to be. It's just a natural part of aging, like getting wrinkles or gray hair. But here is why that is a disaster for neuropathy. Your nerves are high maintenance. They are hungry little things. They need specific nutrients to survive and rebuild that coating. Specifically, they need vitamin B12 and magnesium. They starve without them. They die without them. But here's the catch, and it is a big one. Your body cannot pull vitamin B12 out of a piece of steak or an egg or a piece of cheese if your stomach acid is weak. Imagine your stomach is a conveyor belt in a factory. The food comes down the belt, and the workers, the acid, have to smash the food open with sledgehammers to get the prize inside, the B12. If the workers are weak and tired, if they just tap the food lightly, the food goes by unopened. The B12 stays locked inside the meat. You poop it out. You could be eating the healthiest, most expensive organic diet in the world. You could be spending a fortune on grass-fed beef and free-range eggs. But if your stomach acid is weak, you aren't absorbing any of it. It passes right through you. Your nerves are starving to death while your belly is full. This is where ACV saves the day. Because it is acidic, it refills the worker's energy. It fixes the pH level of your stomach. It makes the acid strong again. Suddenly, you start breaking down that steak. You start unlocking the B12. You start absorbing the magnesium. You are not just eating, you are finally nourishing those damaged wires. You are giving them the building blocks they need to put the insulation back on. Now, remember that critical mistake I warned you about at the beginning? The one morning habit you must avoid? We need to talk about this right now because it is ruining the progress of so many people. A lot of people wake up, they stumble to the kitchen, and they try to be efficient. They want to get everything done at once. They take their blood pressure medication or their heart pills or their nerve medication, and they wash it down with their vinegar drink. Or even worse, they drink their vinegar and then immediately chug a hot cup of coffee. This is a huge error. Here is why. Coffee is acidic, yes, but caffeine acts as a diuretic and a stimulant that speeds up digestion too fast. It rushes everything through the system. If you mix ACV with coffee, you are rushing the vinegar out of your stomach before it can set up the crossing guard. You are flushing the guard off the street before the traffic even arrives. You lose the benefit. And for the medication, this is even more serious. Many medications are designed to dissolve at a specific speed in a specific environment. If you take them with highly acidic vinegar water, you might dissolve the pill too fast, dumping the drug into your system all at once. Or, in some cases, the acid can neutralize the medication, rendering it useless. You are taking the pill, but your body isn't getting the help. And there is a third group of people, maybe this is you, who mix the vinegar with baking soda because they hate the taste. They think, if I make it fizzy, it won't be so sour and it will be easier to drink. Please stop doing this immediately. I know it looks cool like a science fair volcano, but think about basic chemistry. Vinegar is an acid. Baking soda is a base, an alkaline. When you mix them, they react. That fizzing, that is the acid being destroyed. If you drink that fizzy mixture, you are essentially drinking salty water. You have neutralized the acid. You have killed the crossing guard. It does nothing for your blood sugar. It does nothing for your digestion. It does nothing for your nerves. You are just drinking a bubbly placebo. You have to get the timing right. There is a specific 30-minute window where ACV works double time to protect your nerves. If you miss this window, you lose the shield effect I told you about. I am going to give you that exact timeline in the protocol section in just a minute, but first I want to give you a secret weapon to use alongside the vinegar. ACV alone is good, it's great, but ACV paired with this specific food is unbeatable. It's like Batman and Robin, they work better together. The secret is to pair your vinegar dose with a warm, magnesium-rich snack. My absolute favorite for this, a handful of raw pumpkin seeds. Why pumpkin seeds? Because they are one of the densest sources of magnesium on the planet. And remember, your nerves need magnesium to relax. When you have neuropathy, the muscles around your nerves get tight. They cramp up. It's a defense mechanism. Your body is trying to protect the area, so it tightens the muscles. But that tightness squeezes the damaged wire, making the pain 10 times worse. It's like squeezing a cut finger. It throbs. Magnesium is nature's muscle relaxant. It forces those tight muscles to let go. It takes the pressure off the wire. It allows the blood to flow back into the area. But here's the cool part. Magnesium is hard to absorb. It's a stubborn mineral. It doesn't like to go into the blood. However, when you have acetic acid, vinegar, in your stomach, it breaks down the pumpkin seeds much faster. It turns the magnesium into a form your body can suck up like a sponge. It is a 1-2 punch. The vinegar stops the sugar damage, the sandpaper, and the magnesium soothes the tension, the squeeze. Try this. Mix your ACV drink. I'll give you the recipe in a second. Drink it and immediately eat a small handful of pumpkin seeds. Chew them thoroughly. Or if you can't chew seeds because of dental issues, have a small spinach salad or throw some spinach into a smoothie. Spinach is also loaded with magnesium. You will feel the difference in how your legs feel an hour later. The tension just melts away. We have to talk about safety because this is strong stuff. We are dealing with acid. I don't care how tough you are or how much you want the pain to stop, you must respect the chemistry. If you don't, you can end up with new problems. Rule number 1, never ever drink apple cider vinegar straight. I have seen people do this like a shot of whiskey in old Western movies. They think more is better or stronger is better. This is dangerous. Undiluted vinegar is strong enough to burn the delicate tissue of your esophagus. It can literally leave chemical burns in your throat. It can cause scarring that makes it hard to swallow later in life. It can also strip the enamel right off your teeth. Your teeth are strong, but acid softens the shell. If you drink it straight and then brush your teeth immediately after, you're essentially brushing your enamel down the drain. You will end up with sensitive teeth on top of your nerve pain. You do not want that. Rule number 2, the kidney check. This is specifically for those with advanced medical conditions. If you have late-stage kidney disease, I'm talking stage 4 or 5, where you are being monitored closely by a nephrologist, you need to be very careful. ACV contains potassium. Usually, potassium is great for you. It helps your heart. But if your kidneys are damaged, they struggle to filter potassium out of your blood. If potassium levels get too high, it can be dangerous for your heart rhythm. If you have kidney issues, take this information to your doctor. Say, I want to try this for my neuropathy. Is it safe for my kidneys? Let them make the call. They know your blood work better than anyone. Rule number 3, the straw rule. This is a simple rule to save your smile. Always, always drink your mixture with a straw. It seems like a small thing, but it bypasses your teeth entirely. It shoots the liquid past your teeth and straight down the hatch. If you don't have a straw, rinse your mouth with plain water immediately after drinking. Swish it around and spit it out. It instantly neutralizes the acid in your mouth instantly. If you are finding these safety tips helpful and you want to protect your health while you heal, hit that subscribe button right now. We don't just give you the hacks here, we give you the safety manual so you don't get hurt. There is a lot of bad advice on the internet, and our mission is to filter it out for you. Now, while the vinegar is working on the inside, chemically repairing the environment, we need to clear the physical pathways on the outside. Think of your nerve like a wire stuck in a tube. If the tube is tight, or if there is scar tissue, or if the muscles are cramped, the wire gets stuck. If you move your leg, it pulls on the stuck wire. That hurts. That gives you that sharp shooting zing of pain. We are going to do something called nerve flossing. It is exactly what it sounds like. Just like you floss your teeth to get the gunk out from between them, we are going to floss your sciatic and tibial nerves to get them unstuck from the surrounding tissue. It is very gentle. You don't need gym clothes. You can do this in your pajamas. You can do it while watching TV. The leg floss. I want you to sit in a sturdy chair. A dining chair is perfect. Make sure your back is straight. Don't slouch. Extend your painful leg out straight in front of you. Ideally, your heel is on the floor or hovering just above it. Now, listen to the coordination here. It's a little tricky at first, like patting your head and rubbing your stomach, but you will get it. I want you to slump your head forward, bringing your chin down to your chest. As you look down, point your toe away from you, like a ballerina. Now, lift your head up to look at the ceiling. As you look up, pull your toes back toward your shin. Flex the foot. Head down, toe point. Head up, toe flex. Do you see what we are doing? We are pulling the nerve from one end, the head, and then the other, the foot. We are sliding it back and forth through the tunnel. It lubricates the nerve sheath. It breaks up tiny adhesions. It looks funny, but it works. Do this for 30 seconds on each leg. It shouldn't hurt. It should feel like a gentle stretch. The hand floss if you have pain in your hands. Try this. Put your arm out to the side, palm up like you are holding a tray of drinks. Tilt your head away from your hand. At the same time, extend your wrist down, fingers pointing to the floor. Then tilt your head toward your hand and flex your wrist up. Glide back and forth. Critical warning, stop immediately if this causes sharp pain or an electric shock sensation. We are looking for a gentle stretch, a little tension, not pain. If it hurts, make the movement smaller. If you have balance issues, keep your feet firmly on the floor and just do the ankle motion. Talk to a clinician if you aren't sure. All right, you've been patient. You know the why, you know the safety, and you know the physical movement. Here is the exact protocol. This is the golden ratio I promised you at the start of the video. This is the formula that balances safety, absorption, and the sugar-blocking power. You need to get the ratio right. Too much water, and it's too diluted to work well. Too little water, and you burn your throat. The golden ratio recipe. 1 cup, 8 to 10 ounces, of warm water. Why warm? Because cold water shocks the stomach. It constricts the blood vessels and slows down digestion. Warm water opens things up. It aids digestion. It is gentler on your system first thing in the morning. 1 tablespoon of organic apple cider vinegar. It must be the kind with the mother. Look at the bottom of the bottle. Do you see that cloudy, cobweb-looking stuff floating around that looks a bit like sediment? That is the mother. That is where the good bacteria, the proteins, and the enzymes live. If your vinegar is clear and see-through like apple juice, it's dead. It has been filtered and pasteurized. It won't work. Get the cloudy stuff. Shake it well before you pour to mix the mother in. 1 teaspoon of lemon juice. This is optional but highly recommended. The lemon provides liver support and helps mask the taste. It adds a freshness that cuts the heavy sourness of the vinegar. A few drops of liquid stevia if you really can't stand the sourness. Do not use honey, maple syrup, or sugar. If you add sugar, you are adding the sandpaper right back into the drink. That defeats the whole purpose. The 30-minute window secret. This is where most people fail. This is the detail that separates the people who get results from the people who don't. You must drink this mixture 20 minutes before your meal, not during the meal, not after the meal. Why? Because the crossing guard needs time to get dressed and get out to the street. It takes about 20 minutes for the acetic acid to prime your stomach, signal your insulin response, and prepare your digestion. If you drink it with your food, it gets mixed in too late. It gets lost in the food bolus. If you drink it after your food, the sugar is already in your blood. The flood has already happened. The sandpaper is already sanding your nerves. The damage is done. So, here is your new ritual. Write this down or take a screenshot of your mental routine. 1. Wake up. Drink a glass of plain water to hydrate. 2. 20 minutes before breakfast, drink the golden ratio mixture with a straw. 3. Eat your breakfast, pair it with the pumpkin seeds for that magnesium boost. 4. Wait at least 30 minutes after drinking the vinegar before you brush your teeth to protect your enamel. Do this before your two biggest meals of the day. Usually that is breakfast and dinner. One last thing, I need to manage your expectations because I want you to succeed. Nerves heal slowly. They are the slowest healing tissue in the human body. They heal slower than your skin, slower than your muscles, and slower than your bones. You are not going to drink this and wake up dancing the tango tomorrow morning. That is a lie, and I won't lie to you. There's no magic pill. You need to give it time. Commit to 30 days. Mark it on your calendar. Call it the ACV challenge. Usually, here is the timeline of healing that we see. Week 1. You might not feel much difference in pain yet. Don't get discouraged. Your digestion will feel better. You will have less bloating. You might have more energy after meals instead of needing a nap. Week 2. The burning sensation usually lowers first. It goes from a roaring fire to a simmering coal. That is the inflammation going down. The crossing guard is doing his job. Week 3. The pins and needles start to space out. You might sleep for 4 hours straight instead of 2. You might notice you can stand in line at the grocery store a little longer without pain. Week 4. The numbness starts to fade as the nerves wake up and the coating begins to repair. You start to feel the texture of the carpet again. You are not broken. You just haven't had the right tools until now. You have been trying to drive a car with sugar in the gas tank. Now you have the filter. You have the repair kit. Start the protocol today. Get the cloudy bottle. Buy the pumpkin seeds, do the flossing. And if you want to know more about the science of nerve repair, check out our other great video. Can apple cider vinegar really help nerve pain and neuropathy? The truth. It goes even deeper into the studies and explains the different types of neuropathy in detail. Tap the card on your screen right now to watch it. I'll see you there.